Hello students, I'm Lynn. I want to help you improve your English listening, so come check out my videos. Hello everyone, I'm Lynn from Cake and Shaw English. In this video, I'm going to teach you contractions using would and had. They can be confusing as they use a similar contracted form. Let's get started. Let's take a look at how to make contractions using would. Would is always followed by a base verb. First one, I would. I'd. I'd like to help you make dinner. I'd like to help you make dinner. Next, he would. He'd. He'd be a good choice for president. He'd be a good choice for president. She would. She'd. She'd be very happy if you helped her. She'd be very happy if you helped her. It would. It'd. It'd be nice if you visit us. It'd be nice if you visit us. You would. You'd. You'd love being on vacation in Hawaii. You'd love being on vacation in Hawaii. We would. We'd. We'd have to check the price first. We'd have to check the price first. They would. They'd. They'd never hurt you. They'd never hurt you. Let's take a look at how to make contractions using had. Had is followed by a past participle and is mainly used in the past perfect tense. I had. I'd. I'd been there before. I'd been there before. He had. He'd. He'd studied a lot before his test. He'd studied a lot before his test. She had. She'd. She'd never been to a concert before last night. She'd never been to a concert before last night. It had. It'd. It had been a nice day. It had been a nice day. You had. You'd. You'd better fasten your seatbelt. You'd better fasten your seatbelt. We had. We'd. We'd not eaten for 5 hours. We'd not eaten for 5 hours. They had. They'd. They'd gone home before the party finished. They'd gone home before the party finished. Now it's time to check your listening of these contractions. You have to listen for the correct contractions. Plus, you have to think, is it a contraction of had or would? First sentence, listen carefully. We'd been there before. I'll repeat it again. We'd been there before. What contraction goes in the blank? Did you get it? Right, it's we'd. Is it a contraction of had or would? It's followed by a past participle, so the answer is had. We'd been there before. Here's another one. They'd be great parents. I'll say it again. They'd be great parents. What contraction goes in the blank? Right, they'd. Is it a contraction of had or would? It is followed by a base verb, so the answer is would. They'd be great parents. Here's the next one. It'd be a lot of fun. Once more. It'd be a lot of fun. What contraction goes in the blank? Right, it'd. Is it a contraction of had or would? It is followed by a base verb, so the answer is would. It'd be a lot of fun. Next example. It had been a lot of fun. I'll repeat again. It had been a lot of fun. What contraction goes here? Right, it'd. Is it a contraction of had or would? It is followed by a past participle, so the answer is had. It had been a lot of fun. Next one. He'd like to come with us. I'll repeat it. He'd like to come with us. What contraction goes in the blank? Did you guess he'd? You're right. Is it a contraction of had or would? It's followed by a base verb, so the answer is would. He'd like to come with us. Next one. You'd seen it before. I'll say it again. You'd seen it before. What contraction goes here? Right, you'd. Is it a contraction of had or would? It is followed by a past participle, so the answer is had. You'd seen it before. Next one. She'd be angry if you came late. Listen again. She'd be angry if you came late. What contraction goes in the blank? Right, she'd. Is it a contraction of had or would? It is followed by a base verb, so the answer is would. She'd be angry if you came late. I'd seen her before. Listen again. I'd seen her before. What contraction goes in the blank? Yes, it's I'd. Is it a contraction of had or would? It is followed by a past participle, so the answer is had. I'd seen her before. Thank you for watching my video, everyone. I hope you can tell between would and had more easily. If you have any questions for me, please leave them in the comments. See you again in the next video. On Cake, you can practice the sample sentences and get your pronunciation checked for free.